to friends, colleagues, railwaymen and business associates alike.
The future is indeed bright, and it is through all our combined efforts
that my dreams are finally coming true.
An important notion begs an audience, and I must ask that we all convene from the far stretches of Sodor.
From lakes in the woods and divided waterfalls
to the high peaks of Coldy Fell.
Please attend a congregation of Sodor's most enterprising men and women at a time and location that will be determined.
Dubious drums. What language is this? Portuguese?
I think you need to flip it over 180 degrees for complete comprehension.
What he means is you got the letter upside down.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course I knew that, you pathetic excuses for diesel hydraulics.
Not to say attendance is mandatory, but I have not spoken with some of you for some time. It is best that this very notion is presented to all of you
Please,
in
have
person,
mercy on me.
not only as businessmen, but as friends of the railway and enthusiastic enthusiast of life, labor, and love.
Sincerely, the Fat Controller. Even he's calling himself that now.
P.S.
Consider this notion the culmination of a great adventure of what has been and what is to come. What could this be all about? I can't believe how much this invitation takes me back. What fervour! It reminds me of... This is the place, Madge. This is where that shrouded thief made off with those maps.
Knowing you, sir, you're probably going to go after him.
Why on earth would someone burst through my office and snatch them? I'll never know, but perhaps it's time to find out.
Shall I have driver come with you?
I will handle this myself, though I appreciate the consideration. Good heavens! Oh! Where are you? I know you're here, whoever you are. I want what belongs to me and my railway. Reveal yourself. Hand it over. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Can't we just discuss this diplomatically, with a severe lack of violence? On guard, I guess. Whoa, watch out. Are you actually trying to kill me? Ouch. Take that. Ouch. Please return those maps or I'll do something about it. Oh, touché. Whoa. How about that one? Do you ever get tired? Which is why I'm instructing all of you to never speak of this to my wife.
Put me off quarry duty for the rest of the year, and then I'll keep my mouth shut.
Are you blackmailing me, Sir Handel?
Hey, don't look at me. You're the one with the bizarre habits.
I can't describe what came over me. I was in danger, and the sword just seemed to appear right in front of me. And for some reason, when I was dueling, it was exciting. It really took me by surprise. Perhaps an avenue to a younger, more intrepid me. A lot of things have changed since my university days, and I guess I'm yearning for...
Yearning for adventure, sir?
Oh no, certainly not. I'd prefer some peace and quiet. It just seems like I'm constantly thrust into perilous circumstances when it's the least desirable option.
Oh, I'm not buying this little ruse of yours, sir. You have the aspirations of a romantic, swashbuckling hero, a crusader, a maverick of justice, a defender of freedom and liberty. You are just infatuated by the perils and pitfalls of a grand adventure just lurking around.
Oh, shut up, Bertram.
Well, in any case, we'll keep your new hobby a secret, sir. Don't worry about a thing. However, despite your latest adventure with daring swordplay, we never apprehended whoever it was who stole those old maps.
Yes, indeed. That is quite troubling. That leaves us with a lot more uncharted territory, even on our own line.
Maps can be redrawn, sir, and if you ever need our help, we'll gladly assist in any way we can.
Which means we'll just have to plunge into the unknown, conquer the vast wilderness, brave obscurity, hardship, and old frontier.
Oh, sod off.
My dear Engines, thank you very much. I suppose we can put the exploration aside for a little while. It's tourist season after all, and we must focus on what we can handle. We must all contend with these strange circumstances by continuing on as usual until we have more answers. Which reminds me, Sir Handel.
Yes, sir.
Depart for Blue Mountain this instant. Quarry detail for the rest of the week.
Oh, this is so unfair.
So, after the accident with Skarloey, Roxanne began wondering where I'd gotten the sword in the first place, and then my dabbling in thrill-seeking was effectively exposed. She's furious.
Well, as you can see, it can be a bit hazardous to your health.
How's it healing? Can I get behind the wheel again?
The fracture is mending well. I'm sure you'll be feeling as good as new in a week or so. You can put a little weight on it, but not too much. Roxanne will have to act as your chauffeur, I'm afraid. You're not fit for driving yet.
I can't say she's too pleased with me right now. Oh well. Thank you for the assessment, Doctor. I have an important engagement with the Fat Controller, and I plan to arrive rather punctually, crippled or not.
No, I'm afraid the General was never admitted to our hospital. Are you saying he's gone missing?
Hello there, my dear. Roxanne, I know that I've been hiding a lot from you, and it all seems to be happening at once. I broke a promise with you I should have kept, and I want to set things right.
So what are you going to say? I suppose you think you're going to talk your way out of this one?
Naturally so.
Here it comes.
My love for you is timeless, like Skarloey, who with each passing year does not lose an ounce of passion, courage, wisdom, and tact.
Oh, please.
For you, Roxanne, like Rheneas, I'd brave any storm to the grittiest end, even on one cylinder.
You don't have cylinders, you have legs. And one of them ever so happens to be broken.
So, technically, my darling, I am on one cylinder in my own way. Suffice to say, I can have my days where I can be a bit...
idiotic?
Misguided, like Sir Handel. But I can be quite bouncy and optimistic, like Peter Sam, I suppose.
I'd like to hear you sing to me the way he sings to those carriages.
No. Much like Rusty, no matter what the predicament, I have a wonderful tendency to fix everything in the end.
But does anything ever really end with you?
I'm also fearless, like a certain fastest engine in the hills.
But you rarely gloat. You're really a humble sort.
The list goes on. Darling, haven't we established that two heads are always delightfully better than one? I would think Mighty Mac would have taught you so.
There's some falling outs, but everything usually works out in the end.
Even with these lapses of character, my heart is still filled with love and wonder and joy that want nothing more than to spend all this time on Earth with you.
Who does that remind me of? A certain controller or sweet little Ivo Hugh?
And like Duke and Bertram too, I was lost, but thankfully found.
Yes?
By someone truly extraordinary. And I can never hide the way I feel about you. It's always something waiting to be discovered. Also like Luke, our number 22.
I hate when you do that. Whenever you're so mawkishly sentimental, I can't help but be forgiving. You forgot my favorite, by the way.
What do you mean, your favourite?
You left Duncan out of the profession.
Oh, Duncan has been getting on my nerves lately. It's why I neglected to include him.
You know, someone who wants so badly to be forgiven can be a little more forgiving.
You're right. He does act out of line sometimes, but he does mean well in the end. Sort of like... All right, I see what you're getting at.
Please, don't put yourself in danger again. This time, it's final. No more adventures.
No more adventures.
Also, Rick, Weaver, and Vagard got what they deserved. I know it was hard for you to leave them like that, but they put many people in danger.
I know. It just hasn't settled with me all too well.
Cheer up, handsome. I'll give you a lift over to Arlesdale if you still need it.
That would be fantastic.
Let's go.
So you haven't been pulling our wheels? You actually saw something?
Why don't you believe me? I'm a horrible actor! I mean, I pop my P's, I slur my S's, and I actually saw a ghost!
Well, he's sort of telling the truth. He is a horrible actor. But to believe the latter is indeed quite troubling.
Huh, do you think it's the same one we chased a few summers ago?
Well, I don't know how to say this.
We've kept it secret for a long time. But now it is apparent that something is indeed watching us.
Those strange whistles without an owner.
Who do you think it could be?
Well, it may be.
It's Proteus, isn't it?
Wait, Proteus?
That's just a story.
It does make quite a bit of sense, though.
There's more to that story than you think. There are two parts to that story, and we can't be completely certain.
What do you mean by two parts to the story?
The story of Proteus, as you all remember, is the one with the magic lamp that grants wishes.
Yes! I thought I had found him once. It turned out to be Harold the helicopter instead of anything magical.
Well, that story is more of a musing of mine than anything else. There's another story that we told Rusty a while back. Duncan, Peter, Sam, I'm sure you've heard it too. It wasn't the whole story, but there is a correlation you may not be aware of. A long time ago, before any of you came here, Rheneas and I were rushed off our wheels. The railway was in need of change.
There's more than enough work for both of you on this railway. Manager's sending 2 more engines to help us run this line.
Of course, those engines were Sir Handel and Peter Sam. We were relieved that help would be on the way.
However, they were certainly not the first engines who had been sent to help us on our line. The year was 1924, when I saw the new engine arrive on a flat truck. One thing that really struck me about him was his old lamp bolted smugly to his funnel. I could hardly believe it ever worked at all. But what did it matter then? He was a cheerful sort.
Hello there, chap. Thrilled to be in your company.
As am I, and I'm sure Rheneas will be too. Feel free to rest here for a while. I'm sure you've had a tiring journey. Being lifted from a crane or a ship's derrick can make you a little worse for wear.
Don't worry about it. I'm here to help you, remember? I'll see you both this evening. I've been longing for a chance to stretch my wheels.
It's safe to say Proteus did not see us that evening. He had worked in the quarry well into the night, and it was getting very dark. His driver was concerned.
I'm afraid your headlamp is not working properly. We don't have a replacement, which means it'll be a dark journey home. We'll have to be cautious now.
On his way home from the quarry, the night was dark and dismal. Fog filled the air, and the poor engine, who had always been so bright and cheerful, had nothing to light his way.
Proteus had to cross the old iron bridge that night. The fog was incredibly dense and nearly impossible to see past.
The bridge at the time was not well maintained. The rails had twisted and there was nothing to hold them in balance.
Without the working headlamp, Proteus could not see the twist in the line, and he and his crew fell from the old iron bridge into the ravine below. He was never found again, and his odd headlamp was lost.
You mean to tell us Proteus worked on this railway, and he's the engine who fell off the old iron bridge?
Yes, Duncan. But we don't know for sure if he is the engine that is haunting us now.
Now that I think about it, the ghost engine I saw backstage strongly resembled that statue of Proteus on our line.
Not to mention the ghost engine we chased that summer night not too long ago had warned my crew and I when the old iron bridge collapsed. I wasn't sure at the time, but...
Well, that's an important detail. You never told me that. What gives?
What you all don't understand is, although it's hard to remember him this way, I could have sworn that when Proteus arrived on Sodor that day, he looked a lot like me.
What do you mean? I thought the statue of Proteus and I always bore a closer resemblance, if anything.
So, what are you saying? He's some kind of shapeshifter or something?
Who knows? Perhaps Proteus can change his form at will. That may be why he's been so hard to pin down.
We can't be sure.
It is Proteus, Skarloey. It must be. No matter what he looked like, he must be clouting your smoke box. We must tell the Thin Controller.
Do you think he'd believe that the line is being haunted?
I prefer not to worry him any more than he already is, having to deal with a broken femur and all. Proof of some kind would also be crucial. If only we could find some evidence, like that blasted headlamp. Then our theory would practically conclude itself.
Hello, Fergus.
Ah, Thin Controller. Come on in. Thank you for coming to fetch me.
Madge and Roxanne are waiting outside. We're ready when you are.
Splendid. How is the wife, my friend?
Well, it's a little precarious at present, but I'm slowly getting my own back.
Did she find out about the fencing lessons?
That's part of the issue, yes, but that life is behind me. I'm going to make it up to her.
You're a good man, and a lucky one too. I wish I was married. It pains me to say it, but I haven't made an appearance on the dating scene for quite some time.
Well, maybe if you didn't always smell of Tidmouth kippers, some sort of fantastical lady fanciful would eventually fancy you.
In my experience, it's best to just wink a lot and show him some thigh.
But you don't have thighs, Mike.
Frank, Frankie, Frank, I was obviously speaking in metaphor.
Go away, you two. Get back to work.
Heh heh. We're a riot, you and me. I still hate you, though.
By the way, what's that little lamp you have there?
Oh, I don't know. Mike's crew found it a while back when they rallied a search party to find the farmer's lost sheep. It never actually worked, but I've been holding on to it ever since.
Interesting. Well, are you ready for the Fat Controller's meeting?
I sure am. My railway has been working closely with the project. Ballast is our speciality, after all.
I'm just a little more concerned about the setting.
Yes, indeed. Who's hosting?
Carlo Debris.
Oh, wasn't he one of those hecklers at that ballet recital of yours?
That wasn't a ballet recital. That was a production of Hamlet.
I don't know. From what I could tell, it was a circus up there. You have a broken leg, for crying out loud.
If you know Carlo Debris at all, then you know he's volatile, violent, and virtually insane. I can hardly believe the Fat Controller makes any dealings with him at all.
Well, we need to see why he's called everyone together.
Agreed.
You'll all have to get a little cozy, but I can guarantee a pleasant journey. I bet you could all use one.
That sounds lovely, Madge.
I think the fate of the journey depends on who's driving.
Knock it off.
Was that the Thin Controller and Madge? You don't see them venture into this neck of the woods very often. Did you see 'em, Toad?
Begging your pardon, Mr. Oliver, but I'm not even facing your direction.
Fair point, I suppose. I wonder what they're up to.
It seems I may be guilty of eavesdropping, but apparently the Thin Controller and the Small Controller are on their way to an important engagement with the Fat Controller.
Wait a minute, could this mean...
No, Oliver. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the project. I hate to dampen your spirits, but we both really need to keep a level smoke box on the branch. No distractions.
You're right. We have plenty of work to do. It still makes me wonder, though.
Thank you for the lift, Roxanne. Same goes to you, Madge.
A pleasure, as always.
Darling, I don't know how long this is going to last. You're welcome to go home if you like. I'll call you later.
Don't worry. Mr. Hugh is looking after the children. Madge and I will wait until you're through.
All right, then.
I don't like the looks of this place.
Oh, I agree. Quite unsettling.
Ah, my dear friends, it seems we're all accounted for. I'm sure you've met Carlo Debris and Walter Sliggs, both are very respected businessmen. And of course you both know Mr. Walter Richards and Miss Jenny Packard.
We all know each other, Sir Stephen. We should probably get down to business, or at least discuss why exactly this run-down shack was selected to conduct this meeting.
I'll have you know I am a delightful host, you chivalrous chowderhead. Plus, my incompetent, ruthless peons may be conspiring to rise against me.
Wait, what was that last part?
Caesar! Dex, Winslow, to arms!
Don't worry, miss. We never remember to load these. It's all about the intimidation factor.
Yeah. See? It's not...
Good gracious me!
Well, let's return to the matter at hand, shall we? The reason I've called you all here today is... Sir Frederick, you decided to attend.
I've got a lot of orders to fill. and not a lot of time. This better be good.
Get your impeccable fashion sense out of my peripheral, you brooding buffoon!
Oh? Hey now, show a little respect, Carlo. You're being awfully rude. We'll have to fix that someday. Now, won't we?
Idle threats, Aura!
Ahem. Thank you. Now, everyone, you're probably wondering why I summoned you all here today.
Are you finally retiring?
No. The true intention behind the Little Western Extension project is finally being unveiled. As few of you have been in the loop thus far, I will inform you all now that the new line will serve as a luxury tourist destination. Henceforth, I will soon be inviting you all to a grand celebration held at the nearly completed Hotel de la Provincia Auto Completa for this grand opening.
Smashing! When will it be held?
That information will be included in the invitation.
What? I thought this gathering was the invitation.
No, I just wanted to tell you all in person about the upcoming fulfillment of my latest endeavor.
Let me get this straight. You called all of us here to present an invitation to an invitation? You make me sick.
Are you serious? I cancelled my tennis lessons for this nonsense.
I must say your ambition is starting to get the better of you, Sir Stephen. This gambit is entirely self-serving in every regard.
Did you know anything about this?
I mean, I've known for a while, but the whole thing just seems a little too extravagant.
This was an idiotic waste of my time, but at least my timber made a decent profit. Honestly, it would have been a much more productive way to spend this time improving my employee relations. Honestly, I'm about to get murdered.
Employee relations? Wait, what on earth is he talking about?
Down with Carlo Debris.
He's a terrible human being.
Down with Carlo Debris.
For the record, this was not my idea.
I eat people like you for breakfast in Russia, along with
He pants me at my wedding.
He made me eat dirt.
I could fancy myself a bit of fisticuffs.
He smells like teen spirit.
He puts on a dress when he thinks he's alone.
Down with Carlo Debris.
What is going on here?
I'm currently dealing with a bit of an uprising. Boxy, what are you doing here? Get off of Kurt's exhaust panel this instant!
Sir, although I am irreversibly infatuated with your despicable attributes and your blatant disregard for the well-being of others, shooting me in the foot for no reason is no way to treat a member of your staff. It's honestly quite rude and very annoying.
We also want higher wages.
We get wages?
And more benefits.
We get benefits?
We also want exponentially less painful ways of removing splinters.
Yes, I'm sure there is a much more logical method than amputation.
Hey guys, cool your jets. I don't think violence is the answer. By the way, Kurt, what the heck are you doing here, buddy?
Once again, this whole uprising was not my idea.
Hey, now seriously, Kurt. You want to take his side? You're either with us or against us. We're all in. Let's teach Carlo a lesson.
Ouch!
Ow, that hurt my feelings.
Dog!
Anyone for tennis? I just want to make things clear. I'm not with them. I do apologize. I thought I mistook you for someone else. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to run in the opposite direction. Is that okay? Good.
Yeah, I feel so alive.
Based on my injury, I'm sure you'll be perfectly reasonable.
Yikes!
Carlo! Who are these scoundrels and ruffians?
These scoundrels and ruffians are my workforce, you delusional bureaucrat. Could you at least brutally maim someone?
Why are we punching each other?
Everyone stay together.
Slice them into fruit salad. Your flannel cannot hurt me, peons.
Take this. Oh no. Help me.
Back off, you wretch.
Wow. She's absolutely enchanting.
So, you all want to play rough, eh? I'm going to show you all that having working knees is a luxury. This will be extremely painful.
Dear Lord, I'm physically compromised. Cease this madness.
Here, catch.
Why are you giving me this?
I know what you can do with it.
You do realize I'm rather indisposed.
Keep telling yourself that, and it'll always be so. Turn around!
You wanna fight? You wanna fight? You wanna go?
You're gonna feel this one tomorrow.
Thanks for that.
Shut up! Just keep these idiots at bay. There's sorts of quiet things down around here. I guess I really didn't think that one through.
What's going on in there? It sounds like a full-blown brawl.
Hop in. I think this calls for a little impromptu rescue. Sir, climb aboard. We'll get you out of here.
Match, thank goodness. Roxanne, did you just...
Carlo! I'm only trying to kill you because I'm madly in love with you despite your unethical and psychologically questionable tendencies.
Ouch! I took that personally.
Well, as much as I cannot stand the sight of you, and I abhor you in every possible way, without you I would only have everything else in the world to despise, which somehow leaves me prodigiously empty inside.
Stand down, everyone!
Wait, what?
From this very instant, our lips shall coexist in an excessively amorous fashion.
Kiss me, you heartless wretch!
Love is so weird.
Why does this keep happening? I thought this was a conference, not a mindless free-for-all.
I swear to you, I had no idea this was going to happen.
Oh, I can't believe this. This perpetual turmoil seems to follow you everywhere. Dear?
Roxanne, there's something that's been troubling me, and I need to tell you right here and now.
What do you mean?
Rick, Weaver, and Vagard, my dear. I've been feeling increasingly guilty about my decision.
Why you bring this up? You know you did the right thing.
It wasn't easy, dear, because they warned me of something I wasn't sure I should take to heart.
Rick, Weaver, and Vagard? Yes, apparently a smartly dressed gentleman has inquired about your bail.
Hey now, look who finally decided to show up.
Oh man, someone get us out of here already! I think I'm allergic to federal justice.
Good show, Thin Controller. Looking sharp. Handling our bailout with style, I see.
It's not funny.
Are you mad at us?
Livid.
We meant no harm, I assure you. Of course, I can't speak for these blockheads blowing up the dynamite, but the incident with my rifle was merely a stroke of bad luck.
What you all caused was incredibly idiotic, and you could have killed several miners and workmen. Not to mention that Sir Handel and Duke are currently incapacitated because of your antics.
I still don't get why I was in prison in the first place. It was their fault, not mine.
I reckon we could have made a little less of a ruckus.
You must believe we meant you no harm, comrade. We have an urgent matter to share with you, one that is of the utmost importance. You are in grave danger, and we've come here to warn you about something big.
What are you talking about, Vegard?
There's a man behind this gunpowder fiasco. That's why we've come to warn you. The reason those maps were stolen was because those secret routes were holding something valuable, and you've been set up. Someone wanted you to make those expeditions. All the gunpowder we extracted from those abandoned warehouses was taken to the Ministry of Defense complex. By making the discovery seem innocent, the explosives were taken to their intended destination. They were only meant to fuel the fire. It could be an attack on the Ministry, the railway, Sodor, for all we know. The munitions incident was something diabolical. It was not an accident.
What?
It links directly to those stolen maps. Those maps were stolen, so any written record to the old routes would be out of your reach, and this dark force could operate undetected and lure you in. That gunpowder was planted there, not all of it, but a lot of it. It's all connected.
You mean to tell me someone stole the maps so I wouldn't be aware of some sort of criminal activity? I don't understand.
And yes, and then you would be tricked into discovering them all over again. So Handel, Rusty, and Duncan's discoveries were staged by an outside force, so the gunpowder would all be brought to one place, so the fire would begin.
Good heavens! What makes you say this is some sort of a dark force? Where are you getting all this information?
I have a hunch, and my hunches are never, ever wrong.
You have a hunch? Are you kidding me? You base this entire conspiracy theory on a blasted guess? Are you telling me there's absolutely no factual evidence behind this?
It must be true. My instincts say it must be so.
I can't believe this. You're trying to lure me into another one of your swashbuckling adventures, aren't you? Hunch or not, this is all just one big hoax to get me head over heels in precarious circumstances so you can live the glory of our youth again. Well, I'm done. I'm through with all these lies.
They're not lies. This is a hunch, and a bloody good one, mind you.
A hunch is merely an inkling, for goodness sake. It hardly speaks for any valid truth.
What the? Where are you going?
I'm leaving. I'm not listening to this rubbish anymore.
Aren't you going to bail us out?
Nope. You can serve your sentence. You're a danger to others and my railway, and whether we're comrades or not, you must face the consequences.
You've gotta be kidding me!
So, I save your life and this is how you repay me, eh? By letting us all rot behind bars.
I have to do what I think is right.
But what do you think is right? I think I'm only hearing Roxanne talking.
Don't bring her into this.
Fine then, but we're only looking out for you, like we always have. You wouldn't have even known her if it wasn't for me.
Please, we don't need to discuss that now.
I will respect your decision, but hear this. My hunches are never wrong. Whoever this adversary is, he will see that you are a loose end in his scheme. You are in danger. We cannot let this happen. We must investigate this matter further.
I'm sorry. Farewell, my dear friends.
Yorks! Evasive action! Mayday! Mayday!
I guess I'm not sure whether to believe it or not.
Vegard is genuinely trying to protect you, but he, Rick and Weaver, are really going too far this time. Besides, you know Vegard's hunches.
They are never wrong. Never have been. He told me he knew we'd end up together from the start.
It's best they see their punishment. The way I see it, these conspiracy theories are just one of Vegard's little attempts to get you all wound up for another mindless crusade. I don't want you to be in danger.
I know. I just hope, for my sake, that I have a say in the matter.
God, I love being a lumberjack.
The mystery of Proteus is not the only thing troubling me. It's the stolen maps from the Thin Controller's swashbuckling adventure.
You made a shrewd connection. Sir Robert Norramby and the day he came to Blue Mountain on a quest for King Ori's lost sword surely springs to mind. It may be our first lead.
According to an old map recently brought into my possession.
So all along, you thought some of the maps the Earl had received may be the ones stolen from the Thin Controller's office?
Yes, the railway had an extensive collection of maps, and several were stolen.
And ever since, this dreaded gunpowder saga has blown far out of proportion. All these incidents had occurred from abandoned lines ever so suddenly discovered.
So, do we think it's the Earl? And that there's some sort of conspiracy involved?
No, it doesn't make sense. The Earl was abroad in 2009. He was travelling the world, so he cannot be the culprit. However, I think it's a safe bet that whoever did steal the maps, that person gave them to the Earl. I'm certain there's foul play involved, but we need to investigate the matter further.
Perhaps a visit to Orfstead Castle is in order.
Indeed, I think Millie may have some answers.
From now on, I think it's important we keep the rest of the engines in the loop more often. We've left them in the dark about Proteus for quite some time.
I agree. It's time we faced reality and see to it that all the engines are up to date. Everyone's morale has been significantly lower lately. Well, everyone except...
Citizens of the Blue Mountain, rejoice, brace yourselves! I, Bertram the Old Warrior, am about to lay down some spoken word poetry.
Ugh, I thought we were over this phase.
Ugh, that's it. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm just going home. I'm just so done.
Working through to the sunset, every day. Trying hard to be useful. Hey. Here we come, up the hill. There we go. What a thrill. Clang! Smash! Working together. Rocking and rolling. Lifting and loading.
Alright. What the heck are you guys doing? Well...
Ooh, I'm embarrassed. Good tidings, Maximilian and Montgomery. We were just embarking on a delightful crusade fraught with wonder and spoken word poetry. Would you care to join us?
Yeah, stop doing that. It's really freaking me out. And I'm sure we've heard that somewhere before anyway.
I liked it.
Freshly moulded rotors at the ready, sir.
We got the elevator flaps right here, too.
Take them to the second level.
Oh, of course.
Right away, sir.
I'll be with you in the melting chamber momentarily.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
You're late. There's a loose end, and it's far past its expiration date. Doomsday is my calling. My prophecy is self-fulfilling, and any obstruction will cease to see the light of day.